Pounds of oil black in there. I gotta make sure I'm oily for my constituents that's right here, man. I can't come out here showing up ashy, brother. Appreciate you. I'm on my Toby and Gwingwe today. Hope I enunciated that man's name correctly. Thank you, sir. No, this the wrong one. This one ain't got nothing in it. So today we will be having a live debate. Blessings to the good brother.
Bro, what you got going on, man? They got your lotion right over there and your oils together.
Man, I gotta make sure, man. I can't get in front of the constituents like this. I have to make sure that we doing right. Yep. Look at you, man. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm just trying to keep the sun up my eyes, man.
Man, I hope you ready for this campaign trail.
Absolutely.
You know who we going up against. You understand me?
Absolutely.
You know they don't play fair. Um,
But
you know,
they don't know that we don't play at all, so it's all good.
hey, that's what I'm talking about. You understand me? That you might not be black if you don't vote for Joe Biden, but you for sure gonna have some money if you vote for us. Hey,
Yeah, absolutely. Can't argue with the results.
definitely can't. So I got my Crown's oil. Listen, I wanted to start this off. This is a monumental day. Very important. Of course, we got a lot of things to talk about and some results to be able to tell the people. And I want to get into the Wealth Standard 2-week intensive course results. But before we get into that, we got a few things on the minds of the people today because we do have tonight is debate night, right? So I wanted to get into a few of these topics that we're going to deal with, and one of them deals with the record of the candidates. I'm going to go into a little bit of Joe Biden's record, Trump record, and then we can put that against our own, and we can go into some of the policies that we're going to implement and some of the things that we already doing rather than some of the things that we promising to do.
Okay.
Let me put this number down here so they can text vote, because I do want y'all to vote. I know y'all was mad at me. Y'all think I ain't want y'all to vote.
Yeah, I've seen you over there stirring up a little trouble on the ground.
I'm gonna go ahead and switch it up for y'all, man. Listen, I know y'all want to vote so bad, and I want you to vote. You understand me? I don't want you to miss out on it. I want you to have this opportunity to vote for the president of the republic. You understand me? And hopefully that your life gets better. And a leader of the free world. You understand me? So me and Chris Cole decided to enter this race, of course, because we see that it was up for leadership and people was looking for leadership, looking for a president. The president helped preside over your affairs. And as my good brother breaks down in the Wealth Standard, that government is governing mind and mental, right?
Yeah.
So when we talking about that, we're going to definitely help you govern your mind and mental. We do that already in the Wealth Standard. Not only that, we help you govern your finances, your security, your education, your training, right? A multitude of other different things that's going to set you up to be a success in the future. Now, my good brother Chris Cole, Donald Trump, he gave Americans $1,200 during the pandemic. What was it that you did for Black Americans and your Wealth Standard that you can say combats that $1,200 that he gave away to the people?
Yeah, I mean, as of today, our students that, we started this back in April. Today, we done broke the $1.7 million mark.
Wow.
So our students that done come through the 2-week intensive course, we've helped get them funded with $1.7 million of other people's money to create an income.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And again, as I like to say all the time, you can't argue with the results.
Yeah, so I like that saying. That should definitely be your campaign slogan.
Yeah, can't argue with the results.
Yes, sir.
Everybody talk about what they want to do, what they can do, and all of that whoop de whoop. But it's like, what have you done? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Everybody want to be voted and put in a position of power without establishing, any type of reference to why they should be in power in the first place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what's more powerful than putting people in position to empower themselves, empower their families, and to build generational wealth? You know,
Absolutely.
not just to preach, not just to hoop and holler and make them feel good on Sundays or Saturdays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays or whatever the case might be, but actually, you know, teach people how to follow a blueprint that's going to provide some type of results for themselves for the rest of their lives, not just during the 2 week, not just during the 2 weeks that they take the course. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? How can you learn something to put yourself in a position that's going to change the trajectory of your life and in the trajectory of your family's life moving forward?
Absolutely, and I'm in agreement with you there. That's definitely the stance that I take. You know, when it looks at Joe Biden's record with the 1994 crime bill and his history of actually helping locking up black folks, calling other political officials niggas, you understand me, and being in support of segregation at a time where it was highly popular during the civil rights movement that black people wanted to be in public spaces that they didn't want to have laws that discriminated against him. He was against this. Now, me personally, with him there, I'm in almost agreement that I do believe in separation. I do believe that integration was a model that failed us because we had more
Right,
then than we have now.
right.
But when it comes to his 1994 crime bill and his unwillingness to think about the model of defunding the police and the divest invest model, that's where our stances start to disagree on, right? Because we put together the Black Standard, and it was a very viral, inspirational clip that went around the world, and sparked a lot of other people to start their own movements and get out there and be on the front line, so that black men can think about training, so that they can protect black women. And Joe Biden, instead of stepping in and really know what he was talking about, and also Donald Trump, you know, he went and got Kamala Harris, right? Historically, her record locks up black men as well. So
Right.
I believe that I speak for both of us when I say that we both are against the police when it comes to them running our communities, running our lives,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
killing our brothers
absolutely.
and sisters. You
Absolutely.
understand
No,
me?
no,
So,
no, no question about it. And you know that it really boiled down to us understanding that, you know, every crime has something to do with commerce.
right.
You know, in the movement and the flow of money. So when we start talking about Biden and his crime bill and the things that you know, Miss Harris has done, all of those things have done things to restrict the flow of money, in particular to the black community. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. So here we are, young, rich, young black guys. You understand me? Rich in knowledge yourself. You understand me? Teaching people how to build wealth. Now, the individuals that we going against, right? You got Joe Biden, who is considered to have possibly dementia, right? That
Yeah, yeah.
even his
Sleepy
own
Joe.
Sleepy Joe, and
Yeah, yeah.
even Donald Trump said today they need to do a drug test because the boy be having issues up there,
Yeah,
right? Now, Donald Trump
yeah.
has been compared to that of a 12th grader or a third grader, right? That he's a
Yeah.
compulsive liar and he doesn't have the intellectual capability to really process and conceptualize things to the masses on an intellectual manner. Now, we know that neither one of us have that issue whatsoever, right?
Right, right.
That we actually have the opposite, that we have the ability to be able to conceptualize hard facts and very complex things about the world, about America, and we can present it to the people in a solution-based manner. Plus, I'm sure both of us are taking lion's mane, which has NGF, nerve growth factor.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
understand me?
absolutely.
So it
Absolutely.
actually helps prevent things like dementia, right? So I think that
Hey,
world starts great, we're gonna be good.
and the cordyceps mushroom. So when
Yeah,
everybody else
yeah.
peaking, we not peaking.
Right, right. So we good to go. So
Yeah.
it, on the intellectual point, if we comparing the old white man to the young black gods, I think we got them beat there. And I'm just really laying out a case for y'all to go ahead and click that text that button that says vote down there so y'all can join the wealth standard, because I am doing a surprise bonus webinar teaching you how to create your business plan for 2021 as well. And we do have Derek Grace and Brother Ben X that will be coming in the next couple of days to be a part of the wealth standard. But today we had a student that got funded $250,000.
Yep, absolutely.
Um, and that's really a big deal. And I really want to give us a round of applause for that, because that's an amazing during this time that we're still in a pandemic, right? That we're considered to still be in this first wave of it. And in the midst of, at the beginning of this, we told people that this is going to be our stimulus package to the people.
Right.
That while they giving you that $1,200, we giving you something to invest it in that's going to give you a much greater return.
Hey man, and it's like this, like, you know, I like to put things into perspective from people from the standpoint of like, let's just look at the facts. You know, your bank who been holding your money for 10, 20, 30 years for some of y'all, right? They not, you can't even go to them with a good credit score and different things of that nature, and they give you $250,000, right? So giving you a skill set, teaching you a skill set that's putting you in a position to get $250,000 that don't have nothing to do about your credit, your criminal history, your past, your skin color, or none of that. And not only just putting you in a position to get $250,000, but also something that you can't unlearn, something that's putting you in position, something that you can learn, that's going to allow you to take care of your family the way that you want to take care of your family and live the type of lifestyle that you want to live the rest of your life, no matter what's going on in the economy. You know what I'm saying? What's going on around you? I mean, like you say, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Folks are, you know, we got 50 million Americans that done lost their job. You know, they put the report out today. It's 4,500 small businesses in the city of New York alone that's filed for bankruptcy in the last 6 months. And yet here we are. We had one of our students get funded $250,000 to put himself in a position where he going, you know what I'm saying, be in a position where he can make $250,000 to $500,000 a year just from learning the skill set.
Now that's amazing. That's powerful. And that's intentional, right?
Right.
I quoted earlier, right, that you know, with goodwill, something in nature, goodwill, right, and some measurement of success. That as long as you don't give up and you got good intentions, you understand me, you're a successful person and you're knowledgeable, of course. And today in America, we got a lack of virtues, a lack of value, a lack of principles that exist in this country. We are very demoralized people. And of course, we living in a Caesar bread and circus show. You understand me? Is that right now we voting for the president. When you go look at the definition of president, it is somebody who presides over the republic. You understand me? And the one who resides over the public, that's Caesar, right? And when people don't have much to look forward to, they want to go escape their mindsets and some nonsense. And so Donald Trump has been one of the greatest Caesars that America has had, especially when it comes to creating the bread and circus show, right? When it comes to feeding the people some blood so that they can be distracted by the BS. And the media is the greatest tool weaponized for and against him, right? Because for the other candidate, while they're telling everybody to focus on his taxes, they're really trying to get you away from understanding the knowledge that is being handed to you right there in front of you to have tax avoidance. While we compare it to Wesley Snipes and we say that this is an egregious crime, it's just showing you that Wesley Snipes didn't understand the laws of taxation and how to move in America, and Donald Trump did. So while we're pointing out an injustice or bias, it really represents our ignorance towards the law and how we're supposed to operate.
Man, and I couldn't agree with you more. Like everything, you know, we like to compare black and white because that's what's in front of us, and we like to try to draw those comparisons of injustice. And at the end of the day, don't have nothing to do with black and white, but it got everything to do with black and white. And I say it got everything to do with black and white because us as African Americans or folks from the underserved community, we're not knowledgeable of how we should be maneuvering in this republic. You said something major then when we was talking about Caesar and the republic. Like a republic is simply showing the citizens or educating and indoctrinating the citizens how to reproduce and operate inside of the public system. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not knowledgeable and educated and understand how to do that, then you know, you at a grave disadvantage. But again, those things aren't taught in our home. Those things are definitely not taught in school. So yes, we are at a grave disadvantage at birth just because we lack the knowledge, the understanding, and the expertise of just how all this shit worked together in the first place.
Right. So, I mean, even when we think about that, right, from an international perspective and level, that America, who having the greatest challenge with, they having the greatest challenge with the Chinese, right? And there's a lot to learn from the Chinese system of government, which a lot of people don't know, especially the fact that they have a top-down system, and parts of their system does have a meritocracy,
Right.
right? And so when you get down to the local levels, there's a lot more power in rulership because the way that their system, they have these village systems towards, they're not picking parties, they're picking based on people of virtue, right? And they have these secret ballots that they're able to cast, and that's how they're able to pick people, and they can have a little more morality at the lower level of politics, and they have a little more control as well. And these
Right.
politicians aren't thinking about, oh, am I going to be a Republican? If it's going to be another 4 years, then I have to get people to vote for me, and I got to manipulate them and create some quick emotional scheme to get them caught up in it. Like, nah, they get to focus on the needs and the values that the people have.
Well,
And so it's a lot to learn from that.
yeah, and we misled off the rip because the media, as always, get us so caught up into the presidential election and the presidential campaign. Um, but most of us aren't even active inside of our own communities. We don't even know the commissioners inside of the cities and the jurisdictions in which we live. We don't know who the sheriff is. We don't know who the superintendent is. We don't know, what I'm saying, who's the tax commissioner and different things right in our own neighborhoods in which we reside on a daily basis. But yeah, we get all caught up and bent out of shape about this whole, presidential election, Trump and Biden and all of that stuff. But we don't even focus in the neighborhood in which we live in, the community in which we live in. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's like, shit, we don't even have home together first while we worry about what the country doing as a whole.
Absolutely. And to a testament of that, of understanding that same exact thing that you just said, at the offset of this pandemic, when people were scrambling to figure out what to do, my immediate thought was get your family together.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
it only makes sense that your thought in an emergency time, oh, I gotta get family together. Not let me go figure out how I'm gonna save the world and go march and protest, right? Or go think about world politics. Get your family together.
Man, we
And
spending a lot of money on Sharpies and poster boards and ain't covering no ground with inside our own homes and apartments and communities that we living in off the rip just because we caught up in our feelings and emotions about some shit that ain't even really directly affecting us as much as other things are directly affecting us. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Like there's gonna be families sitting there glued to that TV as if their life depends on it. And regardless of
Right.
what the white men say or don't say, your life gonna be the same. You understand me? Because it's all about what you do,
Yeah.
right? And I remember when Obama was running for office. You understand me? And I remember the family sitting around listening to that debate. But it was different then because we wanted to see history be made as a black man take that seat so we can feel like we actually have a change that existed in this. It was a beautiful moment. But there's nothing beautiful about the moments that exist today. It's sad. You understand me? Because we're looking at this TV screen for a completely different reason now. You understand? And most of it is fear, right? And
Yeah.
if you have any hope in this system and any hope in any other these two men, you definitely have a white mind that has integrated your thinking, right? And triggered your trauma. And because of that trauma and that triggering, now you're looking for hope in white men. Still, at the 400 plus years in America, I don't see how you have a measure, a shred of of hope in white leadership
Man,
for your family.
it's one of those things where, like, most people scared to talk about politics, but since we talking about it, like, shit, we talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And the things I say and how I feel and how I live my life ain't dictated upon nobody else. So I can project, you know what I'm saying, what I know to be true and what I know to be fact. And it's like, yeah, we got caught up in the whole Obama administration and different things of that nature purely because we was focused on um, skin color. You know what I'm saying? But if we compare our lives when Obama was in office, or Clinton, or Bush, or Trump, or whatever the case might be, how many of us can really say that our lives, our families, our legacies were shifted during the Obama administration? If we understood anything about politics and legislation and different things of that nature, I mean, truth be told, Obama administration was responsible for one of the worst pieces of legislation written in the history of America in the form of Obamacare. You know what I'm saying? But again, because we don't understand it, you know, and because Obama is black, don't say nothing about Obama. You know what I'm saying? My grandma
Right.
had pictures of, you know, the Obama family and all that. And I'm not knocking them. I don't hate them. And I definitely appreciate, you know, that point in history. But like, we got to peel the layers back and really dive down into the shit that really matter. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, just for context of the history of America, for most people don't understand. If you even think about the framework of America and the Constitution, right, and what we are essentially agreeing to and abiding by living and being peaceful citizens every day. You understand me? Living by the rules of the Constitution. It means that these white men from certain families, and these families that had ideologies and philosophies that were attached to their estate, their land, they trusted, they wanted to continue their mindset, right? And they wanted other people that lived on their same land to continue that mindset and to follow their rules and their order and their structure. They came together. They said, no, they wanted George Washington to be a king in America. He said, no, because he
Right.
realized he knew how monarchs fall, right? That he would rather set it up with a check and balance system to make sure the same way George Washington was originally named, his family name was the Hartburns, right? And they
Right.
came under the estates of the Normans, and the Normans came over here from the Scandinavians and everything, and they conquered, right? And he became king, but he knew because the way that he conquered, that his name will be written out of history, right? Because they didn't really like that. So instead, he created the Book of Doomsday that they called it. And the Book of Doomsday basically kept an account of his trust, his philosophy, and everything else that went along with that. And that means that basically anybody that comes under that, he want to make sure that his mindset is established through that family order and that structure, and anybody that comes under that crest. So
Right.
today, you got a Denzel Washington because of King Norman, right? The Wessingtons, right? And when you think about that, and I make that connection just so y'all can see that history, you know, stretches where we are now and has an effect on who we are today. And that the fact that we think about these estates and that people are corpses to a corporation that owns them, you understand me, in America, in the United States of America as a corporation. And if we think about this one big analogy, we are stuck in a mine under the crest as property to an estate of a family, right? Of one particular families or a family or families that came together and they have us all under their jurisdiction. So there's a mindset shift that mentally has to occur within the thinking, the hearts, the minds, and the spirits of the people to even want to not be under someone else's rule mentally, right? To where you have somebody who will stand up and say, I uphold and I love the Constitution of America, not realizing that they are acquiescing to be ruled by another man's mindset, and you are his slave
Right.
until you uphinge your own thinking in a particular manner.
Right. 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 You know, but again, that boiled down to us just, you know, being complacent, being lazy, and not really seeking knowledge. I was having a conversation last night with someone where we've been indoctrinated and we've been educated that public education or schooling is the only way that we can learn something. And then when that's over with, what do? We fail to do what? Continue to learn. You know, we fail to continue to seek knowledge. You know, and if it's not coming from a public education system or a private institution or a institution of quote unquote higher learning, then you know we look at it like, you know, Inspector Gadget. You know, like is this true? You know what I'm saying? But we completely take off our learning hat because once we get our degree, you know, where it's our diploma or college degrees or masters or doctorates, you know, once we accomplish that, we feel like it ain't nothing else for us to learn. You know what I'm saying? And in essence,
Right.
when you get to a point where you feel like it ain't nothing else to learn, you really saying that shit, you know everything that you need to know. You know, and that's simply not the case. Um, you know, and I think that's one of our greatest downfalls and diseases that African American people and underserved, you know, communities when you know, when you look at the elite and you look at those who are successful and you look at those who are prosperous, you know, the key ingredient there is that they maintain a teachable spirit at all times. I want to be able to put myself in a position where I'm open and optimistic and being able to maintain a teachable spirit until they put me in the ground.
Absolutely, absolutely. That temperament of coachability, and I think the idea of humility is lost in the fact that people will act humble instead of mentally be humble in the sense that I'm a student. Every
Right,
student is humble to know that he is learning, right? I think
right,
the greatest act of humility is training and learning,
right,
right? Because training is saying that I have to continue to do this in order to get better,
right,
right? And it is submitting to a regiment, right? And it's saying that I don't have everything, but I am working on it. And
right.
learning is saying that I don't know everything, but I am working on it. So to me, it's an action word that has to be involved in activities. But most people think that it's just a personality switch that, oh, I'm going to act meager and I'm going to not speak about my results in my life and things of that nature. No, you got to be learning
Oh,
and training.
and this is my thing. Like, man, at some point, like, we gotta just start using common sense. Like, if you know everything, then why are you still letting somebody tell you what to do on a daily basis? Why are you telling somebody what time you need to show up here, what time you need to leave here, what you need to buy? You know what I'm saying? What you need to eat? You know what I'm saying? What you need to think? You know what I'm saying? If you know everything, why are you falling subject to everything around you that's telling you what to do, and you're not even using your own creative ability or your God-given ability potential, you know what I'm saying, to decipher the things that's in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I.e. opportunities and obstacles. You don't know how to take advantage of opportunities that's in front of you, nor do you know how to navigate through the obstacles
Mm-hmm.
that are inevitable, you know what I'm saying, that we are to face until the day that we die.
Man, that's a cold piece. I sat today and I was sitting there learning from a 13-year-old and going over options today,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And here I am, a grown man. You understand me? I got my own platform, got my own money, my own knowledge, my own intellect. I got access to my own business partners that I can ask those exact questions if I wanted to. But
Right,
I would rather sit there and learn from a young man, you understand me, with no ego whatsoever, with
right,
a full open mindedness to say, teach me what you know. I want to know, I want to learn the way you know, right?
right,
I don't want to act like I know anything. Even and maybe I know some of it. I don't want no. Teach me the
right,
way you know because every single person has something to teach you, right? And there's so many people who would never take the opportunity to learn from a black man sometimes, right? To learn from a felon or a Muslim, right?
right,
And because of this ego and this indoctrination, you miss out on every opportunity because you have this thing going on where it's judgment versus observation,
right.
right? And you don't know when you're supposed to let your observatory mind take over. Instead, you let your judgment mind take over. So in judgment, there's a deflection. But in observing, you're taking in things and you're learning so you can make better decisions.
Right,
And so,
and again, that's why I
yeah.
like the way that we go about approaching the things that we put together, because everything is results driven. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And I feel like in order to reach our people, in order to educate them and indoctrinate them in things that are going to empower them, we have to be able to produce results, and that's what we've been doing. You know what I'm saying? When we set out to do this thing, shit, 2 years ago, but launched it in April. It was
Right.
always about. You know what I'm saying, being results driven. And it's not from a braggadocious standpoint, or it's not from a better than you standpoint, but at the end of the day, it's like you can't argue with the results. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you got to put down your ego and your pride to figure out, hey, what is it that these two brothers got going on? What is it that they understand that I don't understand? Because I'm continuing to, you know what I'm saying, run this same rat race and produce the same mediocre results that I've been producing. You know what I'm saying? When are we going to be able to rise up above that and say, you know what, I'm gonna be open minded, I'm gonna be optimistic, and I'm gonna put myself in a position, you know what I'm saying, and grant myself the opportunity to take on a new perspective. You know what I'm saying, a new skill set that potentially has the ability to liberate me and my family.
Absolutely. So you sit there and listen, right? And I posted it yesterday. And at the same time, I think you can have whatever plans you want in life, right? Like some of you all may have pleasures. You may want to be a musician. You may want to be an artist. You may want to do sports. You may want to become a scientist. And nobody's trying to take you away from the dreams that you have set for yourself. But at the same time, we have responsibilities. And that I don't ever want to tell nobody to ever be practical about anything, right? Because I think practicality is the road to mediocrity. But at
Right.
the same time, we are multi-dimensional beings that are supposed to assume certain roles and responsibilities because we have a level of accountability towards ourselves and supposed to be mature enough to say that, well, I heard about an opportunity. Here I am probably working for a white man, getting paid this, that, or the third. But because you're complacent and comfortable in your position, and that nobody
Right.
told you that this was an option, and we're the first people to tell you, and even though we're giving you the results, right, we're not giving you the fluff, it's still not a part of your plans, right? And so sometimes that's where you have that ability of observation and discernment to be like, wait a minute, interact with opportunity, don't react to success. And that's I say that so much because it's a lifestyle, it's a principle, like it's a mantra. If you follow that shit everywhere,
And that's why
you'll
they
be
call stuff
fire.
like that a pacifier. You know what I'm saying? And you still operating in that baby mentality. Like the baby want the bottle, but you put a pacifier in their mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they suck it, even though that the pacifier not producing no milk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But it puts the baby in a place of complacency. You know what I'm saying? In a place of mediocrity, in a place of acceptance, at least for a little while. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens? Eventually the baby spit the pacifier out because why it's still in need of the real thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't matter what religion you follow or what philosophies. Like we are people who are designed and destined to manifest. Our frustration, our stress comes from our inability to manifest the things that we have inwardly, outwardly into this physical realm. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It don't matter if you got a doctorate degree, master degree, if you're making 6 figures, 7 figures, or whatever the case might be. You're going to continue to be stressed. You're going to continue to feel at odds with yourself and your existence here as long as you are not able to manifest the things that you know dwell inside your mind and your heart on a daily basis.
You know what, Chris? Listening to this, I'm gonna add something um, as a master class, and it's going to be about esoteric principles,
Right,
right? On how to create these large entities and these legends.
right.
And there's ways that the non-initiate mind, the master, the adept, you understand me, that is deep into his thinking, that can create it. And it's really kind of a step process. And I don't speak about a lot of esoteric and occult principles these days, and I'm actually working on, conceptualizing a lot of them for the people, taking it from the occult practice into like a real world, tangible, step by step. This is what you do. And this master course or class or webinar, whatever it be, it won't be for everybody. Because some of the stuff that we go break down, I don't think that everybody should have it because it can be dangerous in the wrong hands.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be geared to the leadership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to
Like,
be geared to those who have already been on the journey and crossed the path at the appropriate times, at the right times to say, hey, everything that I've been doing for the last 2 years, 5 years, 10 years has brought me to this point, and now this opportunity has presented itself. Um, for me to take it up. You know what I'm saying? But of course, everybody ain't gonna get it. It ain't for everybody. Everybody at this point can't even cognitively understand what it is that's being presented in front of them. Because,
right.
dog, bro, at the end of the day, like everything that we want and everything that we desire is already present in the first place. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? At the end of the day, it boils down to us being aware and conscious enough to unveil, you know what I'm saying, our blindness to those things to see the things that we desire, that's already right here in front of us. You know what I'm saying? When we was birthed into this realm, everything that we needed to accomplish our God-given destiny, our God-given purpose, that was here before we even arrived. You understand?
That's 100%. You know what I mean? All of the ancient secrets and mysteries exist within men and women found inside their minds. And
Right.
so if we can help you and on a conscious level, because even dealing with the subconscious mind is a whole complete different level. And I think that's what more so going into the winter time in December, where I'm definitely going to find my trajectory going into a little more, because that's really going to make those master men and women. You
Yeah.
understand me? And those master men and women have something that the rest of the world don't have. And number one, they have a discipline and self-control that is one of the most powerful things on the planet Earth if a man or a woman can control themselves.
Right.
And if most people hear that and they be like, oh, I control myself. And there's multiple levels and layers to that because those who run the world control themselves.
Right.
And you may look at them as fools and, you know, whatever you may be, but please know they have a level of power and mental power, right, over the masses that have the ability to control the psychic energy of the masses and to manipulate that energy to its own will that you may never understand ever.
Listen, you can't even be disciplined for real without having self-control. Because at the end of the day, it's not about feelings, it's not about emotions, it's not about anything other than being committed to the process with no emotional attachment to the outcome. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You knowing that what dwells in your mind, the things that dwell in your heart, is truth beyond a shadow of a doubt. You understand what I'm saying? So every day that I wake up, I'm pursuing that, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what the weather is outside, regardless if I got the support from my spouse, my mama, my children, or whatever the case might be. Because at the end of the day, like, this is what God put inside of me. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nobody else's responsibility but yours to go up there and get it every single day that you wake up, regardless of what you feeling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Today, like I said, we up to 1.7 million in
Right.
students funded in the Wealth Standard from the 2-week intensive course. And we today, of course, a student got funded $250,000. Our students have reported up to $300,000 that we've heard from our students as far as the money that they've made since they joined the course itself. And we've been able to take a lot of people to that next level, you understand me, and give them a skill set that they're going to have for the rest of their lives. Some of
Right.
you all were asking me questions about it and things of that nature. And like I said, we really try to make the entry for you all as easy as possible. Make the price as easy as
Well, when it
possible and acceptable. So it
man,
ain't really
because
much
we
I want to go overboard besides selling the resorts.
yeah, you know, and get as many people involved as possible before we transition to the next level and the next phase of our purpose and our destiny. Because guess what? We're not gonna sit here and offer this until eternity. Like this is just a stopping point. This is just a phase. This is just a inflection point of the journey and the bigger picture of everything that me and you done sat down and put together in the first place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those who come, they come. If they don't, hopefully the ones that we teach and educate will be able to, you know, to put something together or a platform together to reach back to help those that didn't have the opportunity to step up and take advantage, or the courage to step in and take advantage of the opportunity that we put out here in front
Hey,
of them.
Dion said he taught his mama and them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Real talk.
if anything, shoot, learn it so you can teach it to somebody else that may be able to use it. But once
Yeah.
you got it under your belt, that's yours.
Yeah, it's something that you can't unlearn. Like, it's a skill set that's timeless. It's an industry that's timeless. Like, we trade every day of our lives, whether we know it or not. Anyway, it don't matter the currency. It don't matter the time. It don't matter if it's a good economy or a bad economy. There's always going to be a market to trade as long as there's commerce between human beings, right? So understanding the skill set and having that skill set and understanding the structure of how finances work and how money flow, you can be dropped off anywhere on this earth and you can thrive. And you can put yourself in a position to take care of yourself and your family however you want to take care of them. You understand? Just by understanding and learning this skill set. Like, once we give you the game, once I give you the game, can't nobody take it away from you.
Sure,
Somebody can,
like,
guess what? Somebody can take away all the money that you make in the market, but as long as you got that skill set, guess what? I can make it back.
absolutely, absolutely. And so, um, yeah, just for anybody that's on that fence, jump off that fence, come on this side of the Wealth Standard. You understand
Yeah,
me? That when we say we campaigning, that's a reality. You understand me?
yeah,
That
yeah.
y'all can lobby if
Listen,
y'all want us to help
man,
preside over your best interests. Y'all
man,
can
from now
lobby,
to
vote with your
November,
dollar.
man, we on the trail. Y'all drop the city in the comments where y'all want to come post up shop. Man, we finna do a 6-city tour from now till November. Y'all let us know where y'all want us to show up.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's what y'all do, man. You get enough people in your city.
Yeah,
Go ahead and get y'all 20 students in y'all city that sign up. You feel me? And create the trail for us, man. We're gonna pull up to your city. You
absolutely.
understand me? But to go on to the next point though, my good but my good brother Derek Grace, I talked to him earlier, and he said he is good for tomorrow. So we're gonna have Derek Grace teaching tomorrow. You know, right now he's working on his 8-figure blueprint, and he's been able to consistently make 7 figures per month. And I'm sure the diversification in his portfolio is amazing, and the blueprint that he's utilizing to have those consistent results is something that everybody needs to listen to. We create archetypes, and I was talking to the young man earlier about this, is that the way you appeal to the youth is to give them new archetypes. You understand
Right,
me? That there's somebody that may have been afraid to think about like being a Muslim because they thought about it just only in a square suit, boat, and tie, and that was it. And updating that model for them to be like, wait a minute, nah, it's more so
right.
about, being a righteous human being and living a particular way of life. But at the same time, just because we teaching about higher knowledge and consciousness don't mean we ain't got no money. Don't mean we ain't running businesses. Don't mean we ain't traveling the world. Don't mean we ain't moving how we want to and on our own independence and doing more than your so-called rappers. So
Yeah,
when we create better models for the youth, now they have something to aspire to. Now they can say, well, I want to be like y'all. Well, what do y'all do? Let me get y'all results. And now instead of telling them, look, stop selling this, stop doing that, we got an outlet for you. You gonna have to be disciplined. But it's gonna be better than the discipline you gonna have to learn when you locked up. You understand me? And you can't go nowhere and you gotta really control your mind. You feel me? So it's a whole different level that I'd rather you be proactive with it. I'd rather you introduce this to your children, your brother, your uncle, your sister. You feel me? Because you might save a life just by tapping in with us.
absolutely, absolutely.
Because Big Keys for president, man.
Hey, listen, man. Keep keys code 2020, man, and we mean it.
Yeah,
Somebody,
man.
I was speaking at the Crypto Invest Summit. Matter of fact, we're gonna drop the link for that as well, so you can get your free $100 in Bitcoin, free ticket to the Crypto Invest
Wait a
Summit.
minute, man. We said I think we doing a little too much, man. You tell we
we
trying to
giving them
compete
too
with
much.
we trying to really compete with it. We giving them $100 in Bitcoin. All right,
Hey, listen,
all right.
man.
So look, this bet this then. All right, so we'll do the webinar tomorrow, right?
Yep.
The crypto conference is October 3rd, right? So inshallah, what we can do is we can make a link. We can make the webinar $100, right? And then once you go to the crypto conference on the 3rd, you get your $100 in Bitcoin. So basically, it's like getting you a rebate. So we paying you to come
Yep.
learn. So
Absolutely.
y'all come
We're
join the
gonna pay you to
webinar. Yeah.
come pay you to learn. That's tomorrow. And then Thursday I'm gonna do a bonus webinar. I was already doing a bonus webinar for the last 2 week intensive course. I'm gonna drop the link for the public to attend it.
What time is it?
It's Thursday morning, 9:30 EST Thursday morning. So those of you who are interested in the 2 week intensive course, those of you who are interested in preparing your family for the crash, those of you who are interested in creating a substantial amount of wealth in the next 12 to 18 months, you make some time for that webinar 9:30 to 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time Thursday morning. So we're gonna hit you back to back this week.
All right, let me go ahead and tell our assistant to go ahead and make that product for us so people can get in at that $100. All right, so this is what y'all going to do. Let me see if this works so we can do it live and I can test it out. If this works, then you can just text this emoji. But if the emoji don't work, then we gonna have to figure out something different.
Beyond, I see you, bro. I appreciate that, big dog.
No. So, all right, this is what you want to do. If you want to get into the $100 webinar and also get the $100 Bitcoin for free, now of course you're going to have to download your eToro wallet and everything so you can actually receive the Bitcoin, right? So make sure you follow everything. But what you're going to do is you're going to text 833-605-0778. Text Bitcoin to that number. So therefore, when we do the webinar with Derek Grace tomorrow, those people that tap in and get their $100, they're going to get the $100 in Bitcoin, and you're going to get access to a multitude of other different things that me and Chris
I
call
use
go give you.
divine feminine shit. I hear
So
you.
I'll make sure that y'all have the instructions, but for now, just make sure you text the number Bitcoin, and I'll make sure that everybody text, get their link so you can get your Bitcoin. So essentially, you ain't paying for nothing. You understand me? That's all
Go
on
get
you.
what go hit the link. Go get well standard 2 week intensive course. Just open up today. First come, first serve. But we'll be back at y'all all week. Look forward to having y'all on board, building with you, bro. You already know what it is.
Hey, real
Uh,
quick though, what time do when does the next 2 week intensive course start?
2 week intensive course start October 7th. So you got from now until October 7th to get into the 2 week intensive course. To get funded once you do the 2 week intensive course, as long as I'm teaching it, and I've committed to teaching it from now until January of 2021. So as long as I'm continuing to teach a 2 week intensive course, you can come back and sit in at no additional cost. So take advantage of it while the opportunity is still here for sure.
All right. So those that want to be a part of the 2 week intensive, you got two options. You can go ahead and text 2 weeks to the number below, or you can go directly to the link in my bio, because when slots fill up, then we not at no more, and every class fills out, right? So don't even worry about that. Um, and of course, for the men, I want to make sure we give all transparent information so y'all know. For men, it's 1750. I think after this course, we taking it what up to 2,000 at least.
Yeah,
And then women right now, the special rate is 1,250, and that one gonna go up to at least 1,500.
yeah.
So this is your last opportunity to get them at those numbers. Like I said, we are at $1.7 million, and our students getting funded from the reported finances that we know about. Just talking to our students on
Hey,
live, we up probably about just from what they told us personally was just 300,000 on one live, right? So
yeah.
I'm sure it's probably at about $500,000 right now if we were to add up all of the students. So we go do that and get y'all that reported number.
Hey, at least, and again, you can't argue with the results. Well, what's the day? Monday.
Yeah.
Today Monday, and we out here in Tulum, Mexico. I got my advanced group students out here. A good bit of my advanced group students out here that's been through the 2 week intensive course, that's done their homework, that's pretty much followed the blueprint. Brought them out here to Tulum, Mexico, for us to have a retreat all this week. So everything that I'm doing this week, we're gonna be live from Tulum. So here we are on a Monday kickback. You know, just to give y'all a little bit of a view of what's going on out here. Keys and misplaced his passport. You know,
Hey man,
brother
I
be
ain't
here
looking
for
at that view, man. I ain't looking at that view, man. I ain't looking. I don't see nothing. I don't see the beautiful skyline going
none
out
of
to the
that.
infinite ocean. I don't see it. Yeah, so but if you get the wealth standard, you definitely you get access to the full entire course for all of our books, for all of our paths, the business mastery courses, the
Yeah,
history, the trading, the options, everything that's added and that's included in that. So make sure y'all tap into that one as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and let Chris enjoy and get to his view. The rest of y'all, make sure y'all text 2 weeks, and the rest of y'all text Bitcoin if you just want to get into the webinar. But if you want the entire wealth standard, then text vote so you can be a part of this campaign. And like I said, he just said that he's doing a couple of bonus ones, and you have to understand that each one of these webinars is kind of like worth the full price of what you pay.
yeah,
And so when we say we doing something bonus, really we mean that you pay for what you got already, right? That's already the value.
yeah, yeah.
Plus, we throwing something on top of that just because you're a part of it.
Yeah,
So, the value
and we gonna
continues
let
to come.
and I'm gonna let the public come in on Thursday because I actually execute live trades in front of you. I actually let you see the positions that I'm taking in my personal account, my client's account. So it's no pie in the sky or you know no funny business. Nobody is showing you exactly what they doing in the market, and I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing in the market with my own personal finances and my clients' finances.
That's right. So it ain't no excuses. It's there. It's transparent. I actually got to send Chris over some information for my portfolio to get it prepared for the crash that I've been slacking on. So I definitely don't want y'all to miss out on. Don't procrastinate like I have done the last couple of days. You feel me? Because in reality, this thing can hit any day. You understand me?
Yeah.
In reality, we don't know how America works as far as when things will get bad. We know things will get bad before they get better, of course. This is just the terms of the election. The terms America is currently in is some unprecedented times. We know that the currency is in trouble. So you all going to this crypto conference is really an important measure into activating your knowledge on new currencies and digital currencies so that you can understand why it's important, be knowledgeable about it, and have more options as currency defenders for when this dollar crashes and go all the way down.
Yep, already.
Kima is in the West Standard. She said, my 3-year-old is set in the crash. Listen, man, y'all better stop playing.
Hey, because it's
Prop
critical.
Nice said, I'm telling the truth, man. That's all I needed to hear was Prop Nice. You feel me? You understand
Already.
me?
Well, that's a bet, bro. We back at it tomorrow. Everybody, y'all go click the link in 19 Keys bio, 2-week intensive course. Well standard. DG gonna come with the heat tomorrow, like y'all know he gonna come with it. So don't miss that opportunity. And yeah, see y'all on the Zoom tomorrow.
Yeah. Peace, family.